Hello, and welcome to the what I call the pilot episode for Kiss the Vinyl, a new podcast that we're trying out here to talk about vinyl. I'm Ken, and joining me is Mark Anthony K. How's it going,
Greetings.
Mark?
Very good. How are you, Ken?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so first of all, before we talk about what we're going to do, Mark and I do have a history together. We've done some other. Well, we currently are on another podcast. It's based around Kiss, the rock group Kiss. But this is not, even though the title says Kiss the Vinyl, it's not about Kiss. It's about vinyl in general. It could be any band and or artist and that sort of thing. So, though Kiss may appear as a subject matter, or maybe if we show an album or something like that, it could happen.
Yeah.
All right. So, otherwise, yeah, we've done that together. We've done actually East West podcast
hmm
talking about vinyl music. We also did a rock and roll. What is that called? Rock and
Look,
roll.
it's rock and roll.
Look, it's rock and roll. Thank you. Uh,
Yes.
a podcast too, which we talk about not necessarily vinyl, but we talk about music in general, certain artists, and
Yeah.
maybe the certain albums by them. So we've done that in the past. So we're going to try something new here and see how this goes, and hopefully there'll be more, and we'll see what happens. So the other thing is why Kiss the Vinyl. Well, first of all, that name I just because I love vinyl albums, so I want to kiss the vinyl, I guess, or something like that. That's how I came up with that. It was, hey, think of it whatever way you want. And then, so on upcoming episodes, we would want to like to talk about music and things about albums that maybe are overlooked in some of the other vinyl community podcasts that are out there. I think we will try to, be a little different from the regular subjects that you always see, like Steely Dan's Asia Sound
Oh
and
boy.
so on, that kind of stuff. We'll probably talk about artists that may not be talked about as much on here and shown vinyl, and maybe overlooked artists that maybe we can turn you on to that maybe
hmm
you haven't heard of before. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Any comments, Mark, about that?
Um, no, I mean, I like the idea. I like the premise. I mean, this is why I obviously agreed to do it. Besides the fact that Ken is a good friend of mine, and I've done stuff with him before already in the past. I mean, it was a no-brainer. And plus, what I do like about this is that, excuse me, much like the East-West vinyl analysis that we did in the past, this is not
Mm-hmm.
situated onto one band, so we can really
Right.
broaden the palette, so to speak, as far as what goes on. And the other thing that I like that Ken said that uh, it kind of excites me about doing this is that we're gonna focus probably a bit on some bands that we think are often overlooked or maybe are completely unaware of to other people, and
Right.
you might actually see something like that today. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. All right. So for today's subject matter, we're going to be talking about Record Store Day 2026, which was about a week and a half ago. And I thought, that's a good one. Might as well. I'm sure we both picked up some vinyl for that and so on. So let's get into it. Record Store Day 2026. So what for you? I know I'll let you know what mine is, but what is your approach to Record Store Day when see the first the list that comes out and so on, and what do you do from there?
Um, well, mainly what I look for is stuff that hasn't been released. Like I'm a big David Bowie guy, for example, and a lot of the times they've been releasing in the past live albums of stuff that he hasn't being put out on vinyl before.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the kind of things I'm attracted to immediately. I'm not so attracted to stuff of bands that have put out where they do the same album that I can get any other place, but just it's on a splatter instead of like a regular black. Those kind of things, I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's really, really interesting,
Right.
I don't really go for those kind of records as much. But I like to go for records that are, that are not available right now, and that's why I kind of like the live stuff because they've been doing a lot of live records, and I know that's kind of the thing that most people don't like. I've heard a lot of complaints about, oh, there's too many live records, there's too
Yeah.
many picture discs and stuff, and I'm not a big
Right.
picture disc guy either, but the live thing I don't mind because I've always said this once, and I'm sure you've heard me say this before, Ken. To me, a live album kind of really shows the worst of the band. I mean, a band can
Yeah.
be fantastic in the studio, but can they
Sure.
be good live? And yes, I know some of them do overdubbing and fix them, but on the whole, we do get a good vibe of how this band is in a live situation.
Yep. Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. So I think that's you have a good approach on things. Yeah. Picture discs are not necessarily my go-to thing. I'd have to really love the artist in order to get the picture disc. So that's that. So I do agree though with you on live albums. I think I probably when we show I got a couple myself. So
Mm,
yeah, my approach is that the list comes out and lots of times it's like it's been sometimes lackluster. Every now and then there's one or two good artists that you try to get. On a prior RSDs, I had gone to, or I waited until the day after on a
mhm,
couple of them, and figuring that I should be able to find it. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Um, so, but this time I decided to get in line. Uh, not too early.
mhm.
Maybe I was about an hour early before the store opened that I went
Yeah.
to, and there was a long line already. But
Yeah.
I waited. So what did you do on, about getting yours?
Um, what I do is that see. Here's the thing. There's a big record store here near my house in the mall that I live nearby, and this is the odd thing is because record store day is supposed to be mainly for independent record stores. Now, as
Right.
far as I know, Sunrise Records is not technically an independent record store.
Uh-huh.
They're a multi chain of a bunch of different, in different
Oh,
locations. But excuse me, but they've been participating in it for a while now. So I've been going there for my record store day stuff, and luckily I do know somebody who works there. So
oh,
day of, I'll
yeah.
call them and ask them if the things that I'm looking for are there. And it's interesting because they do get a lot of stuff, but this year they didn't have a lot of stuff that I wanted there.
Hmm.
In fact, just a heads up here, I only have 3 things from Record Store Day, 3
Yeah, me
albums I
too.
got.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and I was looking for other stuff. There's a lot of other things that I wanted to get, and the problem was too that the independent record stores I used to frequent all the time, me and my friend Anthony, I don't know if you know him, AGK.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
yeah, he also
Okay.
uh, went to this record store, and we knew the guy who ran the store, but he retired, and the store is now shut. So I
Oh
don't have
no.
a independent store to go to now anymore. And he usually had
Uh,
everything for at that store. So,
oh shoot.
but but I if I really want something, I'm sure there's ways to get around it and to get it. Put a call out for friends in the community. Maybe they can help find one or stuff like that. But I just mainly waited till about lunchtime. I called my friend at the store, asked if they still had the things that I was looking for, and much to my surprise, the main stuff that I wanted was there. So I just went there. They did say that they couldn't really hold it there for too long because that wouldn't be fair. but they knew them. If I say I'm
Yeah.
going to come in half an hour, they knew I would be there. So yeah, so I kind of do that, and that's that.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Well, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's good to have
And in.
connection. That helps. I have no connections, so uh, I just waited in line and hope for the best kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
and that's what you got to do. All right. Let's go into it here, I guess. Let's see here. Did you? I guess before we show our vinyl, did you find what you were looking for? Maybe you already said. You said you found 3. Maybe
Yeah.
what ones did you not find that you were looking for?
Good question. Well, the one thing that I was kind of looking for, because I didn't get it when it initially came out. Excuse me, I got a scratchy throat today.
That's okay.
The one thing I was looking for was John Anderson and the Band Geeks. That album
Oh yeah.
came out last year and had a really bad album cover. It was horrendous, this album cover on it. It was the bane of all of us in the Yes community. So they re-released it now with a bonus track and a whole new album cover and blah blah blah.
Good.
I wanted to get that, but of course they didn't have it. I was also kind of looking for Tony Iommi's Black Sabbath, 7-star featuring Tony Iommi, but that changed when I ended up winning that exact record, but a Canadian OG pressing of it on an auction just recently.
Really?
So I did, so I didn't need to go get that anymore. So that kind of was good. And there were a couple of other ones I think as well that were out. Def Leppard. They did a 30th anniversary of Slang.
Yes.
That came out on vinyl. Yeah. I was gonna grab it mainly because I do like Def Leppard, but that record, I was really like, whoa! I didn't like that record initially, but now I do buy records now just sometimes for the collectability of it, and sometimes what I find happens. I don't know if this happens with you, but I'll go back to a record that I haven't listened to in, like, let's say 20 years or whatever it is, listen to it and suddenly realize, this is not as bad as I remember it. And actually are happy that you did end up buying it, because now you kind of end up liking it more.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny. That's funny. I listened to, you just said that, and I just listened to an album that I've had a long time. And I don't think I liked it as much when I was young, when I first kind of got it, but it was the Eagles. And it was the long run, and I'm like, oh shoot, this has every song is actually pretty good on the thing. I was kind of surprised. I was like, I liked it more than I remembered. So yeah, that's a good one. So for me, what did not find? I wanted to get the Cars Heartbeat City Live.
Oh yeah, the live one, yeah.
And it was gone. So I had thought about that Megadeth one, but I didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger on that one. I don't know if there's anything else, but yeah, the Heartbeat City, I think that went fast, and then they're selling it for outrageous amounts right now. So I'm not going to spend a ton of money for that. So it is what it is.
Yes.
All right. So why don't you start with your first of your 3 RSD pickups?
Okay, let me see. I'll start with this one then. Just got it on the floor here, so.
Oh yeah,
I got no room here on the table.
Me too.
My whole studio stuff is all here too. So
yeah.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I am a big Bowie guy, and I was very happy to see this year that there was a couple of things coming out from David Bowie. Now, when I first show this, people are going to say, well, wait a minute, Mark, didn't you just say that you don't get records that are already out? Yes, that's true. But there's a little catch to this one. And most David Bowie fans will already know what I'm talking about, but maybe Ken or other people don't know, so I will explain it thoroughly. This is David Bowie's album called Excerpts from Outside. Okay, it looks like this. Right?
Uh-huh.
There's a little RSD sticker there, right?
Yeah.
And what it says on there is David Bowie Excerpts from Outside, a half-speed master pressed on 180-gram crystal clear vinyl featuring the 2021 remastered approved by the original co-producer Brian Eno. Now,
Brian Eno.
Why this record I got it. Okay, there's the back of it.
Uh-huh.
Is because there's an album out. The actual album was just called Outside. It just said like the number 1.outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it is actually a double album, double vinyl, and it's way longer. This is a single LP version of the album in condensed form.
Okay.
So what they did is instead of giving you a double record with like, I don't know, what was it, like 20 songs on it, this is only like the standout 10 or 11 songs
The
on
best
here.
10 from it,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
The best, actually the best 13 songs on here. But some of them
Okay.
are short. Like one of them is like 1:10, because this is a concept record, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
It's
Okay.
about art murder, like murdering people who got murdered, but they were like they were like turned into art pieces. Like, the head was taken off and then something else was put there, and like it was a really odd thing.
Yeah, that sounds like yeah.
Yeah, and inside, which is the one thing that I'm very pleased about, it came with the original booklet. Okay, there's Mr.
That's
Bowie
good. That's always good.
there. And let me just put this down here for a second so I can show you properly here. The booklet is very, informative of the story.
Nice.
There's pictures,
Oh,
there's
good.
lyrics, and there's all kinds of things to help you along with the story. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah, so this is good because I'll get to my pet peeve about some of this stuff on my next record. But you got that, okay? And when you take out the actual sleeve here, and you get it. Oh, there you go. Now, not a big fan of this, where they have like an actual like paper kind of sleeve here.
The paper sleeves, yeah.
Yeah, like
paper sleeve.
yeah, I'm much better. I much prefer to have like the anti-static sleeves, like the nice plastic ones, and just have the booklet for the information instead of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, there is the crystal clear vinyl.
Crystal clear. Yeah, there it is. Nice.
And it sounds great. I listened to it. It sounds very good. I'm not a big, person who complains about, the half speed stuff. I mean, do I think it makes a gigantic difference? No, but there is obviously some difference to it. There's a little bit better, low end to it. The top end's a little smoother, I find, in some instances. And I'm very pleased with this record because a lot of the times what I've been finding is that Record Store Day, because it's a Record Store Day release, it almost sometimes gives record labels the permission to skimp on things. I find they're like,
oh yeah, well,
we're giving you a colored record here, but we're not going to give you the inner sleeve with the lyrics in it. That's we have to make it different. It's Record Store Day, which is like, well, why would you do that? Like, I mean, I'm glad they did this, that they actually included all the lyrics and it looks like the original release of it. I mean, what makes it different from the original,
right?
Yeah, what makes it different from the original is the fact that it's a half speed. It was not a half speed from before, right? So that's immediately makes it a standout as it is. Now, to do the original version of it, would that have been nice? Yeah, it would have been, but that would have been more expensive. As we know, once you get into multiple records, it gets up there in price. And I do know that some people were hoping for that because I do have the original, the OG pressing of that record, the original one, like the full version of it. And to buy it now on Discogs, it's really expensive. It's white vinyl, and it's running about $300 for that album.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is and I'll tell you, if you're new to Bowie and you're interested in this record, this is a very good way to get into it because number one, you won't be so overwhelmed with so much music and so much story to follow. This way you can still follow the story in it properly.
Still enough there.
Yeah, without going like by the end of the first record going, what am I listening to here? And then trying to figure it all out, So start with this. And then if you like it, look for that record. Of course, it's going to cost you a bit, but you can still listen to it online and stuff like that. I'm sure there's a version of it on YouTube or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm very happy with that record. I think it turned out really good. And it was one of the more odd. And that's the thing too. I do get sick with record store days releasing records that that have already been released multiple times. A record store day version of Rumors, the record store day version
Oh,
of Tusk. It's like, come on, man, these records have been out and reissued 100,000 times. But this one hasn't. I can't remember
yeah,
the last time this was even reissued. This record. So
right.
there you go.
No, that's good when you do something that hasn't been reissued a lot of times, or is not, the same
Yeah,
old thing coming out every day. So yeah, that's a
exactly.
good one. I like that. That's a cool one.
Thank you.
That's okay. Let's go for my first one, I guess.
Yes, curious to see yours.
This first one is a live album. And this is kind of celebrating the anniversary. I think it was this year or last year. It was 80. Anyway, well, here it is. Anyway, Foreigner.
Yes.
Yeah, Foreigner 4 live tour. And I did see them. I think I saw them twice on the Foreigner. It was a twice on that tour, at least once, but maybe twice on that tour. I think it's the only two times I saw them. I believe it was considered the same tour. I think I saw them at it was a day on the green at the Oakland Coliseum outdoor big thing with other bands opening. They were the headlining act on that one, actually. I think Loverboy was before them, and then there was like Scorpions and someone else.
Metallica, I think, wasn't it?
Well, one of them was a Metallica, and that was a different, I think.
Oh, different year, yeah.
Was that a different one? I can't remember now.
Well, what year was this one? Do you remember what year this was?
Well, I think that I was
if it's
early
80,
80s.
If it's 84, it might have been Metallica then.
Yeah, it could have been. I'm just trying to think. 80. I want to say this came out like in 82, but I could be wrong. Anyway,
okay.
The original Foreigner 4. So anyway, I'm blanking on that right now, but unfortunately. But anyway, this is a double live album. I think they released it on I think they released the live stuff a year ago, I want to say, or earlier this year, on just CD only for the anniversary. It's part of their whole, Foreigner 4 celebration kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they put it on vinyl, which I thought, oh, this is good. I'll get that. So it's actually Rhino vinyl, and they have all the hits and stuff, the big songs and stuff on it. So yeah, it's not bad. I did listen to it. It sounds pretty good. Foreigner, I always know, is not the best. To me, it had never been the very best sounding live group. They're good, but it was just more around the sound, the mixing in the concert. So yeah, it has stuff about, it shows ticket stubs and stuff like that from that Foreigner 4 tour and other little things. So that's what that is. I think the sleeves, Mark. Let's see. You're gonna like this. This has sleeves, the polyline sleeves.
Oh, good.
I don't think there's a booklet. I have to look. I don't think there was, but it's your standard. Switch that around. Yeah.
Very nice. Wow, look at that dead wax space on that. Holy smokes.
This one has a pretty good big dead wax. There's nothing special going on in there. A lot of nothing. I'm not sure. I don't think it was mastered by anyone specific that and the other thing, there's 2 discs. They have the sticker in here. I did save the sticker. It's on in here. So there you go. It's your normal record store day deal.
Okay, yeah.
Saying, here we go. Oh, this is a MSP. This tells the story. I forgot.
Okay, great.
Recently unearthed live recordings from the 1981-82. So it must have been 81 that came out, the Foreigner 4. But the 81-82 tour on 2 LPs. Yeah, features, it's exclusive release. So yeah, I listened to it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's, at least I think they mixed it well for vinyl, and it sounds good. I like to hear the songs. I mean, Foreigner 4 that was their biggest album.
That was
I
huge.
think most popular album. I love that album. I remember when it came out. I remember them playing the full album on the radio, and I recorded it off the radio onto a cassette when that happened. And I was like, "Wow, this is so good!" And then I went out and bought it, the LP, just shortly after where they came out, like the following week or something like that. So, yeah. So that's one of the ones. It's good. I'm happy with it. So it's just great. Black vinyl. It's nothing special otherwise about it.
Question for you. Now, when you listen to it, you said that the quality of it sounds good, like the sound of the.
Yeah.
Now, so I'm guessing then that this was probably done. Was it a soundboard, or was it done with like a live truck, you think?
Oh, I think. Good question. Does it say on right here?
It might say on there, like, recorded by the record playing mobile truck or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Produce, recording, master, no, total access recording, packaging manner, A&R, art direction. Does it not say?
Okay.
I don't think it actually says anywhere where it was actually. Hey, hang on here. All tracks recorded live in concert at Anaheim Stadium, Anaheim, California, July 17th, 1982, except recorded at the Odeon, Birmingham, England, August 25th, 1981, and then another one at Westfalen Hall, Germany, anyway, December 19th of 1981. So, but it doesn't say how. But I'm guessing it's got to be. It's probably soundboard.
Yeah, at the very least, it'll be either a soundboard or an FM broadcast. You know what I mean? One of those things that broadcast on radio.
Pulling from 3 shows, probably. I'm thinking soundboard, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Let's go second one for you.
So for me, I'll pick my second one here. I'll save the big one for last.
Oh, big one.
So once again, I'm going to show this one because it's the second of the 3 I got, and under normal circumstances, I don't usually buy these type of records, but because I'm such a big fan of the artist, this is a purchase that I would place under the collector side of me more than the music end of it. Like, I'm not buying it because I think it's a fantastic album. I'm buying this more because I like to have all of his stuff. I like to have as much of his catalog in my collection as possible, and that's Bowie again. And this is the 12-inch single of "Hello Space Boy." Okay. Now, this is this. Ironically, this is the single that was off that record I just showed. "Hello Space Boy." Now, the big thing with this is, if you look here, you probably can't see it that well, but the track listing at the bottom there.
Yeah,
it's 6 different mixes of the same song. Okay. Now, this is the kind of thing I don't usually buy. I'm not into like these, 12-inch remix stuff, but I do like the song. I always did like the 7-inch remix that they did of this, the 12-inch as well. So they were both on here. They were done by the Pet Shop Boys, the remix of this song.
Yeah,
now the sticker on here, which is right there, okay, which says David Bowie, Hello Space Boys 30th Anniversary 12-inch EP. Pressed on neon pink vinyl, features mixes by the Pet Shop Boys compiled on vinyl for the very first time. So that's one reason there. It was never put on vinyl, these mixes. Okay. They're only available on CD. And it says here, plus a previously unreleased Tim Simonson remix of the song. So they have the 6th one is his remix that he did more recently. Okay. And that was never released on vinyl before either. Now, on this record, I'm pleased to say that they did use a poly-lined nice inner sleeve for this. Thank God. And the record is on this sort of pinkish color, right?
Oh yeah.
Neon pink. Now,
Bad.
the two things about this that I didn't like, and I
Yeah.
kind of hinted on this in the last one that I was doing, is that there is diddly squat as far as anything else on this record. This is it. There's nothing else in here except the record itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like where's the single page inner sleeve thing, like, or the notes about
Sure.
it, or a little
Mhm.
thing from the Pet Shop Boys saying why did they do this, or what kind of fun did they have doing with it, or you know what kind of techniques, you know, anything. You could have just put in a single page insert on this, and people would have been happy. And please don't tell me that putting in a single page insert would have broke the bank on this. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so
Yeah.
but it sounds good, and that's
That's
why
cool.
one other pet peeve on this is that most of the time these 12-inch remixes are on 45 RPM. This is not.
Right.
This is
It's
at 33
33.
RPM. Now I understand that they probably did that because there's 6 songs on this. There's 3 aside, and if you're going to do 45
Yeah,
RPM,
probably.
they can't be long. And the 12-inch
Yeah.
remix is longer than the other ones, obviously. So if they would have wanted to do a 45, they probably would have had to make it a 4-song one, or possibly one
Yeah.
song aside, and that starts getting out of the realm of affordability, because they're going to still probably try to drop, you know, $35-$40
The amount of
on this,
money. Yep.
and no one's going to want to pay that for 2 songs. So was it a good idea to do it 6 songs? Yeah, probably, because now you get all of them on vinyl, which was never done before, right? And it sounds good. It still sounds good on 33 RPM. And you know, Bowie's been gone for a long while now, but usually the people who run his estate now, the Bowie estate stuff, they still take good care, or great care, I would say, in making sure that the stuff that they do sounds good. I mean, Brian Eno was involved in the other one that I showed you.
Yeah.
Chances are the Pet Shop Boys probably did oversee a bit of this as well, just to say, no, we want to use this 12-inch mix, or you know, use this or that. Because out of the 6 remixes on here, 5 of them were done by the Pet Shop Boys, right? So obviously they probably had a in on it as far as saying what would be the best thing to use and what not to use, right? So I enjoyed it. You know, the instrumental version of the song I could have probably did without, because it's just music, and usually the heart of most Bowie songs is singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So without him on it, it's kind of pointless in my opinion. But the 7-inch single I always liked, and the 12-inch too, because it has a combination of both the Pet Shop Boys and Bowie on it. I'm not a big Pet Shop Boys guy, but I do like the way the vocals are kind of divided between the two. It makes it a bit different, and that's the reason to get these things, because you don't want to buy the same thing that's already available. You want to have Record Store as a means of making something different and something to get excited the fan base of that particular artist.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's a good one. Yeah, if someone bought that, they may then, if they like that, they may turn around and buy the other one. You know, the album, right? So
exactly, that's the big single.
So so that's a good way to do it. Okay, all right. So I'll go to my second one.
All right,
and we got another live album here.
All right,
and this one is
Judas Priest. That's one I was looking for. I couldn't find.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be out there still, I think, hopefully. It's recorded live. It's a single disc, recorded live at the Foundations Forum.
Oh, nice. I used to go to those.
Yeah, you did, right. 13th of September, 1990.
Oh, okay. So that's 2 years before I went,
Yeah, so live in Los Angeles, 1990. So, it's a single. So usually those performances on there at the Foundations Forum were usually shorter, not a full set list and stuff. A band usually plays about maybe half of a set list. So let's see what we got here. Cover, it's cool, not bad. It's colorful, whatever. And then the insert, you got, it's the paper insert.
Very
kind
nice.
of insert. not polyline, but or anything.
Yeah.
But it is. I like
Oh,
that
nice.
that side. I think that's kind of a cool
Love that cover.
image. Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. It has the songs are riding on the wind, grinder, heading out to the highway,
Mhm.
between the hammer and the anvil, bloodstone, better by you, better than me,
Mhm.
leather rebel, the green
Manalish.
manalishi, yeah, hell bent for leather, and
Nice.
ends with you got another thing coming. So
Nice. So they did
those are,
represent some painkiller on that. They did it hit
yeah,
between the
they
hammer and
did.
the anvil, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, the green whatever. So here we go. So this one it's actually not a bad color vinyl.
Mhm.
Labels are different on each side, but here
Oh,
this is kind
nice.
of
It's like a blood red.
yeah, kind of. When I look at it right here, it looks almost I don't know, purplish in a way, but
Yeah,
it's like a red, yeah, off
depending on
red,
the shading
yeah,
of it.
yeah. And then the other side is a different label. I guess this was the painkiller tour
Yeah,
time period, yeah. So there you go,
nice.
yeah. So that's all right. Yeah. So this one sounds really good. I got the one last year
Hmm.
that was recording from it was in an Atlanta
Hmm.
recording from
Omni.
the Screaming for Vengeance tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And that was really good. That's a really good one. So yeah, I like Judas Priest, and I thought, oh, that's a good one. Pick this one up, and it sounds great. I have no problems with it at all. Just a solid live record, short record, but it's still good.
I am surprised though when you read out the song list. I mean, the obvious ones are
Yeah.
there. You got another thing coming and those kind of things.
Well,
But they didn't do painkiller. That's what I would have thought
it's
for
kind of
sure
funny.
that they would have did
It's
that.
funny what that foundations forums. They usually do some things kind of off the wall.
Hmm.
We know, like Kiss has performed there, and they did not your standard kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They throw in a couple of old nuggets or something. So I think that's what Judas Priest was
Yeah. Well,
doing too.
the nugget from that is better by you, better than me. That for
Yeah,
sure was one that they never did often at all.
that's
Right.
something you wouldn't have expected them to do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a very cool. It's a very cool pick. I mean, usually, Priest live are something that you can depend on to be a great live band. I don't think I've ever seen them play a bad show ever, whether it's on YouTube or seen them live. And I've seen them quite a few times
yeah,
live in person,
yeah.
and they've been always brilliant live. So that's always worth getting. If you see a Priest live thing, buy it. That's just as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I'll go
Go
to my
to
third one.
Yep, your third.
My third record store day, and then we have the non-record store day after. Now,
Yeah.
this one I said was the big one because it was also a big one monetarily. I mean, the other ones that I got already were like $35 each, right?
Yeah.
Just don't forget, I'm in Canada here too, right? So
Yeah.
for you
It's not
guys,
cheap.
you guys usually pay like what, $25, $30
Depending.
maybe.
30,
So
low 30s. Yeah.
yeah, so increase our price by $10 at least, or $10
Okay.
to have it here. So this record here was one I had to get, not only because I love the band, and this is another band where I have to try to get as much of their stuff in my collection as possible, but I also do a podcast about this band as well. And I'm not talking about Kiss, I'm talking about Yes. Now, so
Yes.
their big
Yeah.
release was this here, which was called the Tales from Topographic Tours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the 1973, I believe, tour. Yeah. So the sticker says here, and here's the sticker.
Yeah.
Okay. And it says here, limited edition 3 LP set featuring the powerful live recordings from the 1973-74 tour of all 4 epic album tracks and more. So anybody who's not familiar with Tales from Topographic Oceans, that was a studio album that came out in 73 that had 1 song per side, and it had 4 songs. So it was a double record, 1 song per side.
Wow.
Each song was about 20 minutes long each, right? And
Wow.
it really divided the Yes community for a while there, because they were like, some people thought it was prog overkill. Other people thought it was the greatest thing that they ever did. Okay. So the songs on here are as follows. Side 1 is The Revealing Science of God. Side 2 is The Remembering. Side 3 is The Ancient. Side 4 is Ritual. Now that's the whole album right there in 4 sides. Now side 5 is And You and I, which is from the Close to the Edge album. And side 6 is Close to the Edge in its entirety. Okay. Now, that's not the whole concert. Okay. If you wanted the whole concert, you would have needed another 2 LPs, I think, to round that out. Okay. Couple of stickler points on this. They wanted it to be like a bootleg, and man, does it ever feel like it's very kind of cardboardish.
Looks kind of bootleg-ish. Yeah.
It's definitely going for that aesthetic. Okay. There's the back for it, you know. Now, everything here is recorded from Zurich, Switzerland on April 21st, 1974, except for the second song, The Remembering, which was recorded at the Free Trade Hall in Manchester, England on November 28th, 73. Now, the master tape for this was found by Steve Howe in his own private collection of music that he had. Now, if they didn't find this, they wouldn't have had anything release worthy from this tour, basically, because he always got the sound guys to make him soundboard tapes. Now, this sounds really good for a soundboard. They obviously did some tweaking on it, because if you look at the back here, it says here, mastered by Bernie Grunman in Hollywood, California, released by, Rhino Music, blah, blah, blah. Special thanks to Steve Howe for his invaluable assistance. So the thing is, most soundboards, once you get them, you can't do anything with them except just master them. And mastering is just basically, think of mastering as your home stereo. You want to add a little bit of top end, you can just do that. If you want to add a little bit of bottom, you can do that. But you can't adjust separate instruments. You can't do any of that. People need to get that in here. Mastering is just icing on the cake. You can't do anything besides that. Okay. Now, the second song is not a soundboard. It's an audience recording. You can tell
is it
that.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Because I love giving this sort of example of it, is soundboards are like, hello, nice to see you. It's very dry and very in front, everything. It's very compressed. Whereas the sort of concert one is like this, like the audience ones. Are very like reverbed and delayed and crazy sounding, right?
Open kind of sound,
so that's basically the big difference on it. But I'll tell you this, the audience recording on this sounds really, really good. I was very shocked, because
it must have been in a good area or near the soundboard.
Right? And also they were lucky because they didn't have one of those, Steve, like those crazy kind of people. Nice and quiet. They could hear everything perfectly in there. So this, but there are other things I don't like about this too. Number one is that Close to the Edge, this song is always being cursed for them live. On the last year's record store date that came out, where they played at the Rainbow Club, they played Close to the Edge, and there was a major problem. They had to do some major edits. There's a complete dropout in the song for some reason. And on this one, when the big keyboard solo happens with Wakeman with the and the Moog, it's totally out of tune. You can hear him futzing with the tuning thing on there, like trying to get it back into tune, because it's so out of tune. Now, why does that happen? Sometimes the electrical current at a venue may drop at points, and when your current isn't steady, then analog keyboards, your tuning goes out of tune when that happens, right? So you got to fix that on the fly, and it sounds terrible. But but I'm telling you, other than that, this recording is good. If you're a Yes fan, you should probably get it. If you're a diehard Yes fan, you must have it in your collection.
Yeah.
Now, really quickly, I'll just show one of the records because they're exactly the same, just times 3. So it comes in the nice anti-static sleeves in this one.
Good.
And it's just basically black vinyl, which I'm absolutely fine with because I think black vinyl is great. Right? So there you go. It's just regular sort of labels on it. But okay, so this one I showed it upside down. That's the band live there.
Okay, on the label.
And then on this one side here, it's the name of the songs on each side. Now, there's one thing though that I do have a beef with. As you remember, I did say that each of these songs are 20 minutes live. I'm sorry, 20 minutes long on the studio tracks, right?
Yeah.
Now, I remember when I listened to this the first time, I was like, and I don't like the remembering. This is a big thing on the Yes podcast that we always have big debates about. Is I can't stand that second song, the remembering. But I've heard it enough times to know when I heard it on this live recording, I'm like, this doesn't sound the same as the album. Like it doesn't start the same as on the record. And then as I listened to it more and more, and I had a debate with one of the other Yes regulars on the Yes podcast named Simon Barrow, who's a very well-respected author of Yes books. He did message me back and say, yeah, Mark, these songs are edited. They're not the full 20 minutes. Like that song is only 16 minutes long. And that kind of irritated me because if I'm going to be paying $100 after taxes for this album, I want to hear the whole song, But he claims that there was some audio discrepancies in there, that maybe there was something that was unsalvageable within the song.
They cut it.
But rather than ditch it all, they just made an edit of it and assembled it this way. So if that's the case, then I'll bite my tongue and say nothing. But you got to admit, Ken, if you're going to be paying $100 after taxes for something, you definitely want to have.
Yeah, you'd like to have the original whole version. Yeah.
So
agree.
That's my third one. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in that, but there's obviously things that I think that in the next one they need to maybe take another look at. And again, there's no insert, there's no booklet, there's no nothing, and that to me is unacceptable because this tour there was a lot of controversy, a lot of complaining. They had to adjust the set list as the tour went on. They only went down to 2 of the songs by the end of the tour, 3 of them. So they could have asked so many different people to come on and explain little things about this tour and stuff.
It would have been nice.
Did nothing. Yeah, they did nothing.
Like the bootlegs don't always have booklets. Well, nowadays they do. Some of these outlet, these.
But this is only a bootleg in appearance. It's not supposed to.
I know.
That,
but I agree. They should have had. It's nice to have liner notes and other things about what was going on at the time and so on. So, it's a cool pick. I think it's a neat three records, right? 3 albums. So that's cool. All right, I'll do my third then. This one's probably not a surprise. Of course, it's not a surprise. Here we go. This is a Kiss EP that came out back in '76 when Destroyer came out, and it has 4 songs on it, which is Beth, Do You Love Me, Flaming Youth, and Detroit Rock City. So I still have the shrink wrap on it. Just cut it here. It says $25.99, Mark, for this for 4 songs. What do you want? So this is, of course, about this. Of course, this is something that was only released to radio stations and that sort of stuff back at the time as a promotional item for the record. So it's become a hot item out there for vinyl Kiss completists, vinyl collectors, to find the original, and they go for a few $100 or whatever,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. And it's kind of in a way, people probably get mad. It's going to drive down the price of the original, those collectors. But to me, I think it's okay. I mean, if someone wants this and they never were able to get it and they always kind of wanted it to put in their collection, that's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. It's cool to have. And I used to have actually the original one, and I sold it
Yeah.
last year. So I thought, oh, you know what? I sold it, but I can get a pristine copy, re-release of it and put it in my collection. So that's what I did. And it's supposed to be on the splatter vinyl. We'll show that now. Here we go. This one does not have a poly. It's their plain white paper sleeve.
Oh boy.
Jeez. Now
Really?
I saw somewhere they had a good polyline sleeve for the same record, but it might be in Europe.
Of course.
The release there, they did a better job, but this is kind of whatever. Anyway, it is what it is. So what we got is a replication of the actual record label.
Mm-hmm.
There, which they had a
Nice.
picture from that 76. The difference is, it's a splatter, but it's not a very good splatter in my opinion. It doesn't kind of reach the end, the outside parts of it. It's like it didn't splatter enough. So
yeah,
this is a 45 RPM. The original was a 33 RPM.
Oh, nice.
So at least they made some differences. So you can't fake, you can't fake it. The plus the splatter is a dead giveaway. Otherwise, it's pretty close. I mean, you could fool somebody and try to sell it for a bunch of money or whatever, but this just kind of prevents that from happening, I think, if someone does their homework. So hey, it's I don't buy all Kiss releases, but most of them I do, I guess. But it's a good one to have, so I put it in my collection. So,
well, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I know people won't be surprised who know me from the podcast or from the other thing that I can't believe that Universal Music would put that in a paper sleeve. I mean, that is just unacceptable to me. I mean, Universal Music are a major record label, and for them to skimp on that is just, they deserve to have their heads knocked together like the Three Stooges. Whoever thought of that, like, come on, man, really? You're going to be, you're like Ken mentioned at the beginning, he paid $25.99 for 4 songs, and you're going to put it in a paper sleeve. Give the guy at least some credit and give him like a polyline sleeve in there, for crying out loud. Like, come on. And the other thing that I find funny is these people who are crying that, oh, it's going to drop the value of my collectible item. It's like, give me a break. First of all, I'm sorry to say it, but there's no Kiss record in the world that should cost $400. Okay. This is Kiss for Tom. We're not talking about ancient Mozart that they found from 1850 or something. Okay. This is Kiss music. No record should cost $500 from Kiss. I understand that it's a collector's market, and the collector's market will bear what it is. Like, if people want to pay for that much money, then it'll be that much money. But you have only yourself to blame if it's going to be $500, because you're agreeing to pay for it. But I think it's a great idea that they did this, because now people who can't afford it, or, who might have a house and a mortgage and a car and kids, is not going to drop $500 on a record. They can go now and buy it, a $45 or $25 version of it, and be happy with it. I mean, like you said, there's no reason to panic about it, because the original was not a splatter. It was not the 45 RPM. So the value of your record is still going to stay the same, if that's what you're concerned about.
Yeah. And they made plenty of them. So they pressed 10,000 of these things. So they're going to be out
in
there.
My store. Can you believe that?
That's weird, but you should be
got
able to.
One.
You'll be able to find one if you look for one, Mark. I
Yeah.
think
Oh yeah. I'm
even
not worried
eBay
about
or
that.
something. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're pretty much selling for face value. Actually,
Yeah.
I've seen out there. So there's so many of them. All right, so that was record store day stuff. So we did pretty well on that. Now let's do just one more recent pickup that's not purchase or whatever. That's not record store day. So what do you got?
And this I'm very glad we're doing, Ken, my good friend, because
Oh, good.
earlier we mentioned that we were going to use this podcast as an opportunity to maybe highlight some bands that some people may not know about, that have fallen under the radar, and I have just a great one to show.
Okay, good. Looking forward to seeing it.
Now I'm not sure why this happened, but very recently I've gotten into a very Canadiana frame of mind.
Well, you're
Now,
in Canada.
I've started to really look for bands that are from Canada, whether it's from Newfoundland all the way to British Columbia to the Yukon Territory. I've been searching out bands and music from various artists all across this great nation. Okay.
Yes.
And I was very shocked. And I thank Bandcamp for this, because Bandcamp is absolutely tremendous for this. If you're trying to look for new music, you have no excuse not to find one if you use Bandcamp. Okay. And I stumbled across this because I put into search vinyl. I wanted to find something that had vinyl, a band that was releasing vinyl, and from Canada. And I left the parameters from like anything except like I don't like hardcore country and stuff like that, or I didn't want any kind of like R&B and stuff. I wanted more rock side of stuff. Okay. Now even pop rock or whatever. So it came up with a couple of things, and I found this one. I listened to it, and I listened to the first song on it, and I thought, wow, this is really good. So before listening to the rest of it, I pulled the trigger because they were only selling it for $25 Canadian, this album. So I said, this is great. The shipping was low because it's in Canada. It was only like $8. I was like, this is a no-brainer. Okay. So here's the band. The band is called Outfit.
Outfit. Interesting.
And the album is called Preservers of the Pearl. Okay. Now, if you look at it, it's very much constructed like one of those old school records, with the white in the back with the titles there. A short write-up about the band. And
that's old style. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's almost like those old Beatle records, like the
60s.
Or those old, like the Blue Note records, like the jazz record, they'd have like a little write-up on the band on there, right?
Yeah, they used to do that. Yep.
Yeah. So it comes with this little hype sticker for the label, the record label that they're on. What's that record label called again? I'm trying to remember offhand, but hang on, it might be right here. Yeah, You've Changed Records, it's called. Okay. Now inside here, and I'll get to the music in a second, but just to show
might be their own record label.
It might be. Here's the label. The inner sleeve, and it's not polyline. I think it's a soft plastic.
Okay.
It's not the scratchy paper. Okay.
Yeah, it's not scratchy. It's paper, plain paper.
And here are some of the other acts that are on this You've Changed label.
Oh, okay.
Okay, on here.
So they're really on there.
And the record is pressed on this nice red vinyl.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, why this immediately hooked me in, Ken, is because
the music.
They first of all they were formed and live in Midland, Ontario, which is about an hour and 20 minutes north of where I live. Okay. And is also the home, for all you music quiz people, is the home of James LaBrie, lead vocalist of Dream Theater. His family farm is in Midland.
Right.
Okay. So there's a little bit of trivia. But this band, when I put it on, it reminded me of two bands immediately. It reminded me of Sloan, which is a band from Nova Scotia, Canada here, which is power pop stuff. It's I've always called Sloan the Canada's answer to the Beatles. It's that kind
Oh,
of power
okay.
popish stuff,
Yeah.
but it's also mixed with 70s era Rolling Stones. And that's what I think really got it for me, because it
Okay.
has some really crunchy Telecaster style guitars in
Yep.
here. The vocals are very like cool, raspy voiced kind of singer guy. And there's also a girl in here too, which I think she also does a lot of the backing vocals with them. So the harmony vocal singing on here is really good. Okay.
Hmm.
The production of it is really, really well done. I mean, the whoever produced this, and I don't think it says here even who did it, or maybe it does. Maybe it did, but I have to take a better look for that. But anyways,
Yeah.
well done. Sounds great on vinyl. Sounds good even on digital streaming on Bandcamp when you buy it, because they give you the album for free in digital there. If you like the Stones, let's say that whole middle period, like It's Only Rock and Roll and Goat's Head
Yeah.
Soup and all that stuff, all those records there, it's like Brown Sugar and all that stuff, Jumping Jack
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah. I love that stuff. Yeah.
This stuff will appeal to you, okay?
Okay.
Because it very much has that sort of vibe to it, but add a little bit of Canadiana into it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
and usually people get all concerned when I say that. Sometimes like, well, what do you mean by Canadiana? And let me explain this.
Yeah.
Usually what makes a band stick out as Canadiana to me is in the lyrics. Like they'll make a reference to something where
That you'd only be.
that could only a Canadian will really pick up immediately.
Yeah.
Like the Tragically Hip have a lot of popular songs, and they talk about an old Maple Leaf guy, Helko, Jeff Helko or something like that. I don't remember his name exactly, but there's an old Maple Leaf guy that they reference in one of the songs, And then also talk, and one of the lines in the other songs, like, in 67, when the Leafs last won the cup, like they actually mention stuff like that, that people like in Canada would totally remember, or historical places. So that's what I mean sometimes when talking about Canadiana, it doesn't mean that, we have a Canadiana sound, but some people would argue that we do as well. But that's mainly it. Like, I mean, Neil Young too. Like, when Neil Young does songs, he talks about Winnipeg, or he talks about, Northern Ontario, in his lyrics, or, he talks about the Aurora Borealis, in Pocahontas, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I mean sometimes when I say Canadiana in it, but musically, I think honestly, Ken, you would like it, I think.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to check it out. I'll go down and go to stream some and see what it is. Yeah. No, I'm always open to hearing new bands and stuff like that. So.
Well, I know, because I think you like that band, the Lemon Drops or something, and I know that they were a newer band.
Lemon Twigs. The Lemon Twigs.
That's it.
Yeah, they have a new album coming out. Was it this month? May, I think. It's coming out soon. I pre-ordered it, the newest one. So yeah, that's one of the bands that I'm into. There's another band actually that I think I'm supposed to get the album tomorrow or in the mail, and maybe we'll show that on a future episode. It's an unsigned band. It's on like their own label, kind of like that, and it's a current release, and they're out of Colorado. Like,
nice.
I don't know, it might be Boulder, Colorado, or it's Colorado. It's a Colorado band. So I've listened to the music. I'm like, wow, there's some good rock and roll, on this. I mean, some of it sounds like this or that. Some sounds like the Doors. It's good. Wow, this is, interesting. So anyway, we'll probably show that. I didn't name the band yet, but we'll show that at a future episode here. Cool. So my pick is not an unknown band on this one. People know this band, but this is kind of, in a way, it's record store day related, because when I was at the record store shop that day when I was picking up the RSD titles, I was waiting in line. This line that went way all throughout the store. It was super long. And I was passing these bins, and every now and then I see something, and I flip through some records. Well, I flipped through this one because it looked like it had a lot of interesting, like, promotional stuff in this one bin. And I went to it. I go, okay, I'll take a look. And this one stood out. Oh, I don't have that record, but I know I like at least a couple of songs on it for sure. It was a good. It's a good band, popular band. I think they're from the Bay Area actually. But anyway, here it is. It's the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a promotional album. The Captain and Me, and they've re-released this stuff on probably One Step or whatever the other ones
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Some of the vinyl high fidelity
Audiophile
stuff.
collector
Yeah,
types.
but you know what? If you can find the original album, and Mark, it's gonna sound great. Probably the
Of
best
course.
out of all the. Even the represses can't match it. Usually,
Yeah.
it's impossible. And then in this case, this is. I mean, it was in good shape.
Yeah.
This is their centerfold of the band, and this is like an overpass down in I think it's Northridge. I was looking it up, Northridge, California, where they had the big earthquakes and they had to rebuild
Oh,
the
okay.
thing. That overpass had like gone down twice due to earthquakes, and they had to rebuild. It's just crazy. So your still original insert is still the normal insert.
It's in good shape.
Back then. Yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, I pulled it out, and then I pulled out the center, and you got the white label.
Oh, nice.
Promo. Oh, you can see.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Very nice white label promo. It's like it really hadn't been played. Great shape. So I was like, promos. I like to buy promos.
Yes.
If I can. So I got this one, and yeah, it sounds great. It has Long Train running on it. People know that one. And China Grove.
Oh yeah, that's the big song.
A couple of big hits here. Then some of their songs they're not the big hits or anything, but they're actually solid written songs and well played, and they sound really good. So yeah, that's the other album that I picked up recently. One of the albums I picked up recently that
very nice.
It just happened to be at the record store day,
and that doesn't happen very often, where you go into a lineup and you stumble across a white label promo of a record like that.
Yeah, no, you don't. I think they put these. They saved because I overheard the record store owner, and he said someone from the store saved these promos and other things, held them back and put them out on record store day morning out there. So that's probably why they were there. And I was just happened to look at the right, bin or whatever and pull that, because I did see some other promos in there. I forget what the other ones were. I think there was a Tom Petty or something, but I have a lot of promo Tom Petty because I'm a big Tom Petty fan. So anyway, that's the one. So I think that wraps it up, right?
Yeah. I think that's a good first episode.
Yeah, and we'll figure out what we can do for the next one. I don't know. We'll try to do it one next month. This free thing, only allows me so many hours, I think. So we'll try again next time. So I hope anyone who watches this enjoyed checking out our vinyl and
leave your comments and tell us what your favorite record store day pickups were as well.
Yeah, and what would you like us to even talk about if there's a specific subject regarding vinyl albums or a particular artist or this or that around vinyl. So we appreciate you watching. So Mark, we're going to wrap it up. So for Mark and myself, Ken, we'll end it here and hopefully see you in the future.